This is Hannibal from thehannibaltv.com with some daily wrestling news for you for September 25th. Road Warrior Animal has posted on his official Facebook page that if you want to see why ratings are in the toilet, watch the last two clips of Smackdown, or the last two segments of Smackdown. So obviously he was not a fan. So Road Warrior Animal, I'm going to try and have him via Skype interview very soon. In other news, Kevin Sullivan, the behind-the-scenes producer from Impact Wrestling, was the vice president of productions for Impact. And according to Dave Meltzer, he is going to be the vice president of post-production in AEW. He will probably still work for Bellator, who he's done packages for in the past. Funny comment there by one of the YouTubers, Nicholas. Very funny. Mike Johnson of PW Insider is reporting that 205 Live might be moving to Friday nights starting next week. This way, the show would continue to air live following SmackDown. There is just so much wrestling on TV right now. I don't know how anyone could watch all of the WWE shows alone, let alone all the other stuff. Cody Rhodes has confirmed on Twitter that AEW Dynamite will have a TV 14 rating. So we've seen the pay-per-views have had hardcore matches and really bloody matches like Dustin Rhodes had with Cody Rhodes. But from what I understand, the TV show is going to be more tame. So it's going to be interesting to see how the TV show does. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. They've done some impressive stuff at AEW. Whether I've been a fan of what I've seen of their product, I have liked some things. Other things I haven't liked, but we don't even know what their TV show is going to be like, and it's early in the company's life, so it's too early to make any judgment on them. I'm wishing them luck still. Raw last night I guess 2 nights ago now, averaged 2.21 million viewers, which was down 3% from the prior week. To put that into perspective, the Washington versus Chicago NFL game did a 10.33 million people watching. So everyone knows football is hugely popular. Roberto Brave says that the Canadian Prime Minister sucks. And Dread says Animal and Hawk. It says my connection is unstable. Sorry about that. This has been a constant battle for me about this connection. Oh, here's a very interesting piece of news. Jose Canseco, who we all know from baseball, is going to become a professional wrestler on November 3rd when he wrestles Seiko, getting into professional wrestling. Brad Pitt appeared on the WWE's YouTube channel, which was, I guess, to promote his new movie. And it was very weird because since when does WWE interview movie stars about movies? But it appears they're going to start doing this now. But what I found funny about this is the interviewer, who I forget her name, switched the topic to WWE. Is he ever going to appear for WWE? Is he ever going to wrestle for WWE? And it's like throwing him right on the spot where he has to answer. He can't really say he's not interested, but I find that interesting that they kind of threw that on him there. And if this is going to be a continuous thing with WWE interviewing celebrities outside of wrestling, I am a Brad Pitt fan. But from watching that, it was just like, wow, you really threw that loaded question in front of him. WWE comes to LA all the time. You live in LA. Like, that's a little awkward. I'll tell you guys kind of a funny story. I get a lot of hate messages, and that's fine. I don't mind that. I think they're funny for the most part, but I do block most of those people because I don't have time to deal with it. But I had an interesting one today. Somebody asked me to appear on their podcast. I've never heard of this guy. I don't believe he was a Facebook friend of mine. And I looked up his podcast. I couldn't find much on it. So I messaged him back. Can you send me more information about the podcast? How many people listen to it? And then the person rudely messaged me back. How many people is going to listen to you on the podcast? But it's like, okay, I don't know anything about it. I never contacted you. I don't know who you are. Now you're becoming defensive. Then they're like, oh, I thought you were cool, but you're really not. So I just think it's funny. I am open to appearing on people's podcasts. I have before, but I got to know some information about it. And I still work regular jobs and stuff, and I work out, and I do all this. So I'm a busy guy. If it's just a couple of people in their basement that want to talk to me on the phone, I'm sorry. I can't do that. Lastly, I will remind people that Great North Wrestling comes to Rockland, Ontario, October 19th. Haku versus the Blood Hunter. Davey Boy Smith Jr. against Nathan Banner for the Hannibal TV heavyweight title. Savio Vega against Paul Rosenberg, who recently put out a highly controversial promo. Lady Yasmin's going to get a shot at Jessica Black's Women's Championship of Canada. Wes Briscoe is giving Maximum Testosterone a rematch. There's going to be another match. Melanie Havoc against CC Galavis. There'll be a kickboxing match. The Bruiser against Mathis Myers. A table match. People are saying they can't wait to see Haku in Great North Wrestling. That is going to be interesting. That will be the Blood Hunters' biggest test thus far. So that'll be very interesting. And the Blood Hunter will also be appearing in Messina, New York at Fight for the Mind 5. That Shane Douglas, who is having issues with his Skype, he's supposed to do a Skype hour-long interview with me anytime now, but he's having issues with it. So unfortunately, it keeps being delayed. Buff Bagwell is going to be there. I'm going to talk to him soon about trying to get an interview. Justin Credible has confirmed an extended interview, and he's also going to be in Messina, but it's a razor. Information on that is at thehannibaltv.com. If you are in Messina, New York, or Cornwall, Ontario, right across the border. But October the 19th in Rockland, that's going to be the last Great North Wrestling event of the year, and a great one. But another event that GNW is going to be affiliated with is December 6th in Ottawa, Ontario, at the Jim Durrell Center. That Jeremy Prophet's going to be on that card, and the Blood Hunter has already been announced. Juventud Guerrera is going to be there, and I interviewed the promoter of that event, Danny Dugan. We just released that GNW podcast episode. And before I close off here, I did post, you guys asked me about Lanny Poffo yesterday during my news, and I did post that as an individual clip, and that at this point in a couple hours has over 3,000 hits, I think. So it's going to jump up. But some people were saying, oh, you're just trying to work an angle. Well, no, I answered a live fan question. The last time I wrestled him was, I think, 11 years ago, 10 years ago. And he said he would never wrestle me again. So, yeah, it's nothing set up like that. And with people that had an issue about me disliking him in a way because he sold out to his brother's request about wanting Lanny and Randy in the Hall of Fame and Angelo at the same time. The reason I had such an issue with it is because I drove with him for years and heard about that story. Even before he died, that was a condition. So if you guys had had to hear about it as long as me, you would be mad that he caved in as well. But I wish Lanny, I'll just say this right now, I wish him nothing but the best. I hold no grudge about him. If there's ever a GNW Hall of Fame, him and the Honky Tonk Man would be two of the first inducted for their help and contributions to both Great North Wrestling and helping the Hannibal TV get off the ground. So whatever issues ever happened, I have nothing building for that, and I wish them all the best